Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today, Dirty Nights with Fawn Labs. We are very excited to have you tonight, and we hope that after this session, you can share your learnings and takeaways to your friends, to your family, and social media so more people can be aware of what to look for in the ingredients in your daily products. We are also currently live in the Fawn Labs Facebook page. Hello, everyone watching via Facebook. Please feel free to put your questions in the comment section and we will try to address them as long as time permits. All right, let me go ahead and take a look. We are expecting quite a number of people today. All right, good. People are pouring in right now. So we normally start after 5 minutes to give time for people who will come in and for people joining this Zoom webinar and for people who are watching us over Facebook, we would like to know your favorite brand of skincare in the chat box in the Zoom and comment section on Facebook. So we're gonna read through your comments right now, okay? Please feel free to share. All right, so at the bottom of the Zoom page, you will have a chat button. If you click on it, you will have two options, send to panelists and attendees and send to panelists. So for this purpose, please click on send to panelists and attendees so everyone can see your responses. We will give you a minute. So just let us know what brand of skincare, favorite skincare that you use. Hi, Jacqueline. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So please let us know what brand of skincare you use. We're going to give you a shout out. Let me check our Facebook page right now. Let's see. Let's see if we have some comments. Okay, we have 20 people. Just for the new people who just came in, we would like to know your favorite products that you use. Favorite brand of skincare. Let me see. Let me just refresh. Okay, Sharon says Antipodes. Carolyn says, I currently use L'Oreal, but it's not my favorite. Welcome, Carolyn. Welcome, Sharon. Marilyn, I don't have a particular favorite. Okay, that's good. Let's check. All right, over on Facebook, we don't have any comments yet. Okay, Simone says doTERRA and L'Oreal. Perfect. Thank you for participating. Let me check over Facebook. Let's see. Okay, it seems that that's all the answers that we have. We're going to move on. So I'll introduce myself. My name is April and I'm from Dolce Vita Events Singapore. We are a sustainable events company and we produce and host webinars globally for our clients. So again, we would like this event to be very interactive, so it will be more enjoyable and interesting for everyone. So we do encourage you to participate by chatting so you can also get a lot of things out of this session. So this session will have 6 parts in it. So clean beauty, raid my pantry, strip and bare, dirty cup, grill me, and nightcap. So as you can see, we have very interesting titles in our segment. So before I introduce our main speaker, I would like to share some housekeeping to you. So right now, everyone is muted. I will be overseeing all the technical and back-end aspects of this webinar. So we cannot see your video right now. We can only see your names on the chat. And later during the Q&A, we will be inviting you to turn on your videos so everyone can see each other and you can ask your questions directly to the speaker. And if you're not comfortable turning on the camera, it's also okay to keep it off. No worries. We can just ask via the audio. It's also fine. So this session is being recorded and we are also live in the Fawn Facebook page. So I've mentioned this during the start of the session, but I will repeat it for the benefit of the people who just logged in. This is about the controls of Zoom. So at the bottom of the page, you will have a chat button. And when you click on it, you will have two options, okay? Send to panelists and send to panelists and attendees. If you click on send to panelists and attendees in the chat, everyone can see your responses. And if you click on send to panelists only me and the speakers can see your responses, all right? And at the bottom of the screen, you also have a Q&A button there. If you click on it, you will be able to type your questions anytime during the webinar. It will be combined in this Q&A box so we can easily address your questions during the later part of the session. And you can also send your questions anonymously, so that's also fine. And finally, feel free to also share your support and encouragement to our speakers via the chat. You are more than welcome to do that. Please feel free. All right. So in this webinar, we will be talking about sustainability issues relating to clean beauty and food waste. We will be talking about how these topics are related. And we will also be talking about how you can minimize toxins and food waste as you dine more at home, okay? And finally, how you can change some simple habits in managing food waste and beauty routine to improve your health and your skin. So I would like to introduce our speaker to you now, Han. Han's journey with sustainability and naturopathy started due to a personal health scare in 2015. And she chanced upon a natural botanical topical supplement that healed her. Upon recovering, Han spent the next 3 years on research and self-reading. She then focused to change her family's health and lifestyle toxin-free by self-teaching to formulate skincare and home care with natural botanical resources, and she started noticing dramatic changes in her skin. And in 2018, Han decided to leave her finance career to set up an Asian-based family office while concurrently pursuing an advanced diploma in organic cosmetics science with an accredited UK school, Formula Botanica, okay? And in July 2019, Han started Fawn & Co. with Lionel and Eldred. With a vision for sustainability and clean beauty, Fawn & Co. runs Fawn Labs. They conduct workshops and carries out research and development on wellness and clean beauty products. Han, all yours. Let me bring you in. Hello, Han. Can you hear us?
Hi, thank you, April. Wow, what an introduction. I don't think I have to add much more anymore on after April has did a very kind introduction of myself and Fawn. Thank you very much for warming up the crowd for us, and thank you all of you for joining us here today. My name is Han, as April have already introduced. I'm one of the founders of Fawn & Co. We have a subsidiary, Fawn Labs, under us. My personal journey started with a health scare, as April has already mentioned to all of you, following which I actually went into deep research myself, did a lot of studying and stuff like that, and tried to eliminate toxins from my life. Along the next 3 years, I find that my health and my skin dramatically improved. So 2 years ago, I left my 20 years finance job to start up 2 companies, one of which will be Fawn & Co., which we started up in June last year. Now, when we started up Fawn & Co., we were in a shared office space that was along Duxton. And we didn't expect that within 3 months, we were conducting a lot of workshops dealing with clean beauty, and to teach people how to, appreciate clean beauty and what it stands for, a better and healthier lifestyle, as well as to make their own bespoke skincare. So very quickly, fast forward, we had a lot of participants who joined us for these workshops, and they told us that they enjoyed what they were doing with us. But we actually gave them, things like the equipment and all to bring home, because we wanted them to continue the sustainability journey by reusing what we have allowed them to use during our workshop. So sometime in February, we actually moved into our own space at Trust Street. There you go, you can now see on the screen, that is our lab. We call it our little lifestyle lab. So this is where we are now conducting our clean beauty workshops. We also open up our lab for our ex-participants to come back sign up for we call it open labs. So there at open labs, they can choose whatever skincare they want to make. And I will work with them on their customized and bespoke skincare so that they come visit us and make whatever they want whenever they want, thus reducing waste in their skincare regimen, because we always encourage our participants not to overindulge, as in buy too many or make too much skincare. Most of our products are dual use. So if you look at this picture here, it's a selection of things you can expect to learn to make with us. I will go with the purple colored gel that you see right in the center. That is a dual purpose face wash that can act as a mask as well. So if you use it with water on your skin, it acts like a normal face wash. If you leave it on your dry skin for 5 minutes, it acts like a mask. And then we have things like, you can see the pink color and the kind of like a creamy, lotion cream kind of textured jar there. Those are our dual purpose moisturizer. The pink one is actually for day use. If you use it in the day, it's a light moisturizer. If you use it at night, especially for very dry skin, we can bespoke it and make it a serum for you just before you use your face oils or your moisturizer for the night. The cream one is our night moisturizer. So it's of a heavier texture. A lot of our participants use it for dual purpose as well. They use it as a primer, a makeup primer. So before they put on their makeup in the day, they add a thin layer of this. And we've been told that at the end of the day, they have very skin that's not dehydrated. So it helps with the lines on their skin as well. And the last two would be a customized bespoke face oil that can be used either as a cleansing oil or as an oil serum. They are all bespoke for each person's skin. Well, thanks for letting me explain to you what we do here at Fawn Labs. Tonight is not really about Fawn Labs because we are closed now for circuit breaker, right? I'm gonna move on to the next topic whereby I want to talk about clean beauty and I want to talk about greenwashing in general. So this week, each week I'll bring you all through different aspects of clean beauty, but today I will talk about the evolution of clean beauty. So when did this evolution of clean beauty movements, how did it come to today's clean beauty as we know it? The DNA of clean beauty, right, has always been safety. It has always been the number one issue when it first started. Along the way, it has probably been diluted a little by marketing ploys. Why do I say that? The reason is because clean beauty has never been a regulated industry. There has been no clear system nor guidelines set in place as to how each and every clean beauty brand should label their branding and packaging and things like that. Okay, so next week we'll talk about definition of clean beauty, but this week I'll focus on the evolution of this movement. So in the 2000s period, right, the emergence of fear related to health issues started coming up. You would see at that point in time a lot of lawsuits, okay, from consumers suing cosmetic giants for overusing ingredients that are not necessary or ingredients that have been proven to cause harm to their health. A lot of cancer-causing ingredients like talc is actually containing asbestos that are carcinogenic, and they are being used on babies at that point in time. So a lot of concerns there. And of course, the word paraben is what everybody is aware of now. That was also an ingredient at a point in time that came under huge scrutiny for the cancer-causing risk behind it. So the consumers at that point in time, they started wanting to be more educated. They want to know exactly what is in their products, right? So it's no longer good to tell them that a product is good. They want to know what's in there. You start to see labels like natural, plant-based, organic, chemical-free coming up on your products, packaging. Whether they're good or bad, these labels, we'll explore them next week. In 2010s, there's an emergence of a new clean beauty movement. It would have included things like sustainability issues, labor rights issues, right? So at the point in time, people started relating clean beauty brands to brand values as well. It is important at a point in time, right? Not just using good ingredients that's good for people's skin and health. You must use ingredients that's good for the environment, good legally as well. And also when the brand must embrace something that feels good to your spirit when you embrace the brand. So basically the brand must participate in maybe charity events, social outreach and things like that. So that's the evolving of the clean beauty movement and companies that were involved in the clean beauty trade, right? So fast forward to today, 2020, what do we have this year? COVID-19. With COVID-19, I personally feel that safety issues will come back in a huge way after this, but not like before. Before, we were just concerned with ingredient spaces, what is in our formulations. Now, going forward, I believe that the safety issues will have to do with people not making claims on efficacy and things like their preservatives must be well incorporated, preservatives that are not harmful. Right now, people are actually in the state of survival. They are more like in a fight or flight mode, in the sense that they're using the strongest products, right, in their cabinets to fight off this virus. But when our lives start normalizing, I believe people will value natural or clean alternatives to these harsh chemicals that they're using now to achieve the same purpose. So I believe going forward, clean beauty brands that embraces transparency, assurances, and proofs without negative impact on environment, skin, and health will prevail. So let's see if I'm right about that, okay? Without further ado, I'd like to move on to our next segment of the show, and it's called Rate My Pantry. And I have a very important and special guest to bring on board today. Her name is Hui See. She's a very special friend of Fawn Labs. A lot of you who have been to our lab for clean beauty classes would have met her. I don't want to talk about her more, and because I want to bring her live for her to tell you more about herself. So can we have Hui See, please?
Hi, Han, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you so much for having me.
I haven't seen you for so long, right?
Yeah, not
Crazy.
since the last time I passed you my loaf of bread.
Crazy times, right? That loaf of bread lasted our family 5 minutes. So guys, Hui See is a very, very good, she's very good at baking. As I mentioned, I shall let her introduce herself. I will not gush more about her. You want to let everyone know a little bit more about yourself, Hui See?
Hi everyone, my name is Hui See. I'm a mother of three. I have a 15-year-old boy, a 12-year-old girl, and an 8-year-old son. And I'm currently in business development in a UK firm. Usually I love to cook and bake and exercise. I love to run outside, but with the circuit breaker, it's just crazy. So all we're doing now is eating and baking and putting on too much weight, but having fun, nevertheless.
Yes, so all of us at home, and we are actually not able to do a lot of things that we used to want to do, right? But have you find that there are any changes in your life that has led to maybe contributing to a more sustainable lifestyle? For me personally, right, I mean, I try to count all my blessings. So these weeks staying home, right, I try to make some changes to my life as well that will positively impact not just my own life, but the environment as well. So I saw that you were, baking, and you had all that, what do you call that? All the fruit,
my smoothie
peels and stuff like that. I saw banana peels. I know, right? I saw it on her Instagram, and you were throwing away all those peels, right? So what I started during this period, right, is I started composting, and it is something that I have not tried, even though I wanted to for a long time. So I'm using this method called, I'm using this method called Bokashi Fermentation. It's done in a very small pail, and you drain out the liquid and all. I'm not going to talk too much about it this week also. That's next week's topic. But it doesn't really smell much, except for when I actually, when I open up the bucket to deal with the food waste. So before that, I used to use my bare hands to squash down all the, I tell you, no matter how hard I scrub, that smell follows me. And so I kind of got these silicone gloves and use them to manage that. And then also when it comes to fruit peels, hang on a second, yeah. So when it comes to fruit peels, I started filling up the bucket earlier, faster than I actually expected myself to, because we're really eating home a lot more, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So another thing that I'm doing is I'm starting to try to make fruit enzymes. So apparently, yes. So these are using citrus peels. What's the problem is that I don't have enough on a daily basis to make a batch. So what I have to do is I have to actually keep them in the freezer until I accumulate enough, right? So another way I try to be a bit sustainable is I use the silicone bags like this, right? I know I can use this. Usually I pack them, like pack my noodles, soup noodles with them, and they don't spill, and they're reusable. They're good for heat, good for cold. So I put the fruit peels in these and I chuck them into the fridge, right, to freeze, and they're pretty fine. So, I mean, I got all these stuff.
This sounds like a better alternative than Ziploc. You know, I've been using Ziploc to put my vegetable peels, you know, so that we can make vegetable stock. But this sounds like a great alternative, you know.
Exactly.
So you should tell me where you get it from, you know.
No, so I bought these from this Singapore local company called Earthly. You can find them on I think you can find them on Instagram and Facebook. And I think they sell a lot of things that allow us to reuse often without tapping too much into single use that a lot of us are so reliant on these days, right? So staying home this period, I got to change some of my lifestyle. I hope some of you out there listening to us now, watching us now, will adopt the same practices. If you have any other practices that you're practicing from home now, please key them into the comments to share with everyone. And I'd like to take a look at them during the Q&A session as well, right? To see what I can learn from all of you too. But we shall move on right now because I want to play a game with Wisi.
A game?
A game,
okay. Yes. Should I be scared?
You should be. Okay, bring us to your pantry or your kitchen right now. Yeah, carry your laptop. Make your kids work for you. Ask them to carry the laptop. Mommy's is fun now.
All right, I'm gonna flip my camera around.
So while
this is
you
my
go to
island.
Your pantry, I have gone to the lab because I'm putting on my formulator hat now. Whoa, hold up. What's that? What's that on
what?
the arm?
What are you looking at?
Look at all your citrus peels. You see, let me show you something. After you eat your lemon, right? If you eat the sundae from McDonald's, keep the cup and plant the seed in. This is a lemon seedling that I planted just about two weeks ago. Yeah, stuff like that. See, reusing.
Well, I never know that you can use that.
Yeah. What else do you have on your table? Is that chestnut?
Oh no! This is something really silly. I saw a video of a friend who was trying to grow an avocado from the avocado pit. And I bought a couple of avocados and I thought that would be so cool. You know how you do when you put the,
No, because, okay, why I brought this to show you is because on a daily basis, when Huisi and I used to meet for brunch, right, we love to find places that serves good avocado in their brunch. So I wanted to show her that I'm still eating avocados, but what I'm doing with the seed is I'm actually trying to grow seedlings with them. But it's great. I suspected you have avocado as well. So
really?
If you have been keeping those on the table for a few days, right, they won't probably grow as well, I suspect. But I have something that I want to suggest to you to do with them. Do you have a grater or a food processor of some sort?
Oh wow, yeah, I have the Thermomix. You know, I actually have it on my.
You have a Thermomix.
Yeah,
you have a Thermomix. It's not called a food processor. That, my dear, my audience, it's called a overpriced robot. For $3,000, it can do what my hands and a grate can do.
It's not that expensive.
Okay, it's not that expensive. Fine.
Anyway, so what do you want me to do?
I want you to grate the seeds into as fine a powder as you possibly can.
So like grind it up? Okay.
Yep. Oh, not grate. Okay. Sorry, people like me, we use hands too, so we call it grate, but she grinds them up with a robot, yeah?
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I'm gonna request to have her muted because I believe this will be very, very loud. And Great. So while PC is doing that, right, it's great that she has, I was almost hoping to find her bananas because I wanted her to try to use the banana peels. That's something you can try at home as well, because all of us eat bananas. We don't do anything with the skin if we're not composting them, right? So unknown to a lot of people, the insides of a banana skin is actually packed full of acids, right? Fruit acids. It's very good to renew your cells with. So basically what you can do is you cut them into small pieces and you just place them on your skin. You stick them, probably you got the lighter and or leave them on for 10, 20 minutes, right? Or so. And then remove them and wash your face as normal. So nothing bad should happen if your face or your skin burn off. Don't blame me, because I'm also going to suggest that you should probably do that with organic bananas, okay? If not, then try to start Bokashi fermenting if you're staying in a small apartment. Next week, I'll show you more examples of this Bokashi fermenting that I'm doing from home. And I too stay in an apartment. I do that, and there's not much smell, like I said. She's back. Let's bring her back on. So we see, I just want to tell you, right, that avocado seeds, right, when used on skin, actually has some benefits. They contain a lot of vitamin C, which you know is very essential for our cells to be healthy. They are also known to have anti-aging and anti-wrinkles benefits as well. But you're going to wonder, how are you going to apply the powder on your face, right?
Yeah, I'm
You
not
ready?
sure what you're up to.
I have asked you to bring a face wash. I told you to take a photo of your face wash that you're using and bring it along with you, right?
Let me show you how it looks like after the seeds have been blended up.
Sure. Oh, wow, look at that.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. Is it fine enough? Yeah. So can you pour that out into a bowl for me, please?
Okay.
Do you have like a glass bowl?
Yep. This is not for eating, right?
Can you put it closer to the camera so that people can see what it's like? And then, yep. So it's a little bit powdery, right? For those of you who don't have a food processor at home, right? What you can do is, you know, those grates that you use to grate cheese, right? Just get the finest grate you have at home, and then use your hand and that to scrape. That's going to cost you $3, not $3,000, okay? So grate that as fine as you can, and you should get a decent quality of exfoliant that we're looking at now. Yes, so I'm going to use this, teach 3C to use this as an exfoliant. You've got a lot there.
Almond meal.
Yeah, so you take out, can you take out the face wash now? And
oh, okay.
yeah, so what you do is you squeeze an amount of face wash onto your palm, right? The same amount you use usually to wash your face with. Only squeeze a bit more than you usually use because you need it to mix well with that's right. Okay, then take a teaspoon and put the grated pit, yes, like this, and mix it around until you get a very even paste. That's right. Can I see the texture, please? Okay, so depending on your skin type, if you have very dry skin, then you use less pit. If you have slightly oilier skin, right, or congested skin, feel free to add more avocado pits. From what I know about my friend Hui See, her skin is pretty awesome, so she doesn't have to overload on the pit. If it's me, I have to grate an entire tree of avocado pits to get the results that we want. So Hui See, can you see that the texture has become a sort of like a scrubbing face wash of some sort? Yeah. So by right, this is supposed to go on your face. Yeah. So I'm not going to make you do that here. Turn your wrist around, right? And do it at the back of your palm, right? Do it this way. And feel how it feels like. Give it a good scrub. So later after you wash it off, right? Tell us how it feels, okay? Yeah. Use your palm to give it a good scrub. Okay, so this can be used, it's gentle enough to use on your face. So imagine it's gonna be fine for your body as well. Like if you have more pits, right, feel free to mix that with your shower foam and give yourself a good scrub all over, Okay.
that sounds really
Yeah.
good.
So give it some more a good scrub. Okay. And then I'm going to let you go off and wash it while I explain to everyone what else is good about using an avocado pit like that. Okay. I'll see you back in a bit, Risi. Thank you. She's going to use it all over her face and she's not going to come back. Okay. So why I like this method of making an exfoliant from home, of course, right? You use something that you otherwise most often than not throw away and it ends up in the bin. In Singapore, we incinerate most of our waste. A lot of people think that out of sight, out of mind, but truly our landfills are filling up as well. So we have to be conscious of what we're throwing away every day. As much as we can reduce, reuse, and recycle, it's gonna help. You don't have to be perfect at this lifestyle. You just got to start. I started doing small things. And as I get more informed, as I join more community spaces on Facebook and learn more, I started doing more. But I'm still not perfect. So this is the little bit that all of us can start our journey with, you know, being more sustainable in our lifestyle with, right? So basically, when you buy exfoliating face wash of any sort from the commercial shops, especially if it's probably a cheaper brand, they usually come with micro beads because those are cheap for the manufacturers to incorporate. And these are usually not biodegradable. Sometimes they are also made of plastics. And when you wash your face, out of sight, out of mind, but the ocean doesn't treat it as out of sight, out of mind. It ends up in our water, it ends up in our ocean, and you know the whole story and the whole gist of what will happen after that. So when we use something like an avocado pit, not only do you reduce waste, you also help in using something good for your skin that will not hurt the environment. So it's quite a win-win for everybody, isn't it?
I think it's great that we're using this during circuit breaker. You know, if I ran out of my scrub, you know, I know that I can actually just use all parts of the avocado. So that's great.
Yes. So you want to tell us how your skin feels on the hand that,
it feels like there's a layer of smoothness, you know, how you feel after a facial. So it feels
that's
good.
nice.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad for this tip. Thank you.
Welcome. So for all of you who are tuning in right now, if you have other tips like this that you can share with the rest of us, please just type into the comments or type under Q&A so that we can all have all these tips to share because we are all staying home now. And we do hope that circuit breaker will end on the 1st of June, just in case they decide to extend it, right? Then we need more tips, right?
Oh God.
Yeah, so thank you for letting me have a bit of fun, Risi. I didn't make you, you know, put it on your face and things like that, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move on to the next segment of our show. Okay, the next segment of our show is called Strip Him Bare. You look worried. I'm not gonna ask you to strip. No, no. I ask you to send us a photo of your face wash prior to this, right? All for good reason. Okay, so we've actually been doing a little bit of detective work on your face wash. Okay, so I was going to use it to incorporate some sort of an exfoliant that I can find in your kitchen. And then I'm going to further bring it into this segment, Stripping Bare. Are you going to be worried or happy if I tell you what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the entire ingredient list of what makes this face wash, and we're going to pick out all those things that Fawn Labs does not like.
Well, this is a brand that I really like, so it'll be interesting to hear what you think since you're a certified, you know, formulator.
Before we start that, I'm very curious. Can you tell us why you chose this brand of face wash, or why do you choose this particular product specifically? What is it about simple moisturizing face wash that attracts you to purchase it?
Yeah, well, I actually have it here with me. I don't usually like a lot of stuff with a lot of chemicals.
Maybe we want to see Hui See instead of a slide with her face wash on it. Yeah. Thank you.
I was just saying that usually I don't like a lot of stuff with a lot of color, a lot of perfume and chemicals and that kind of stuff. You know, I just like it natural. and you know, and I like to go to the grocery store and browse through the aisles, and this seems like a good one to do to use. You know, it says no artificial perfume or color, no harsh chemicals, soap free. You know, it's kind to skin. It's the #1 UK brand, and I like green, so I don't know. Yeah,
Did you
so
really say it says soap free? Does
it
it say
says
so?
soap free, soap
Did
free.
you say it says chemical free? Chemical free? Is
It
that so?
says no harsh chemicals.
Okay.
So
No, because labeling, I mean, I will talk more about labeling next week, as I mentioned earlier when I explained about evolution of clean beauty. But since we are on this discussion right now with you, right, I just want to state that any brands that you see using these terms, right, chemical free, right, you have to really, really take that with a pinch of salt. And in fact, I wouldn't actually purchase anything from a brand. This one doesn't. It's good that they say no harsh chemicals, but I have seen so many brands, especially the probably the ones that are not so established, and the ones that are not manufactured in US and Europe, basically Asian brands. A lot of them like to put their chemical free, and that is quite silly because even water is H2O. Everything in around us is made of chemical components. So for a brand, right, to tell them and tell their audience and tell their buyers that they are chemical free shows that the people behind the brand doesn't really have a very strong and clear idea of what they're doing. So indeed, it's good that this brand doesn't claim that. We'll now go into the list to see if indeed it doesn't have harsh chemicals. Before that, I like to set the criteria that Fawn Labs have is going to use to, you know, for the sake of assessing whether these ingredients are good or bad. I'm going to use very basic words like good or bad, but I will explain to you why we don't like some of them, okay? So we start with the #1 red light. If an ingredient is a carcinogen, we're definitely not going to like it. What is a carcinogen? A carcinogen is an ingredient that has been tested, and probably research has shown that they may cause cancers, okay? But again, this is not a session where I want to go into fear mongering, because there's too much of that in the clean beauty industry too. What we're doing here is to tell everyone what to look out for, and you've got to take everything into your own context as well. For example, if I use only one product, if I use one product once a day, and it has 1 or 2 ingredients that's carcinogens, right? The rest of my products are fine. They don't have this kind of ingredients, right? I'm not gonna tell you to throw it away and waste that money. Finish using it, maybe look for a better alternative after that, okay? So it's all relative to your own lifestyle. If you use one product once a week and versus somebody who uses the same product 3-4 times a day, then certainly I would pay more attention to the product that I use 3-4 times a day compared to the one I use once a week, okay? So the next category and criteria for assessment for Fawn Labs is if they are toxins. Toxins are things that cause harm to your skin or to your health, but not necessarily cancer causing. So they can be in the form of thyroid issues. And of late, right, in the last 2 decades or so, you must have heard about incidences where doctors are starting to find that there's a relation for fertility issues related to the ingredients being used by people on their skin. Yes. And this may come as a shocker to most of you. For a person who is very careful about the products that they're using, that means they select very good brands, they select brands that look like they are, clean, okay, you are still using an estimated 160 chemicals on your body a day. And that's a woman. A man, of course, if you don't use makeup, that's going to be a bit lower. But just imagine a woman has 160 chemicals applied to her body every day, okay? The third criteria is anything that is an irritant. Irritant would mean that it's not just irritating your skin, it may be irritating your internal system as well. So because some of these actually, and some of these, if we use them too often, right, as you know, they cause health concerns. They may, if not health concerns, they may irritate some of our organs, okay? And then it gets less alarming, because the fourth category is what we call allergens. You would think that an irritant and an allergen is the same thing, but it's not. An irritant, right, an ingredient that falls under the category of irritant actually can impact the entire population of us. That means from we see to myself, to our children, to our husbands, etc. Oh, by the way, irritant could also, we'll pick it up if it's also irritating to the eye, for example, okay? An allergen affects only 2% of the population. So if you're not unlucky like myself, I'm very sensitive and I have a lot of things I'm allergic to. Like for example, a lot of people say that lavender essential oil is very, very natural and very mild, right? Surprisingly, I am highly allergic to lavender. As long as I use it neat, I get a full face of hives and eczema from that after I apply it once or twice. Okay, so allergens are ingredients that potentially can fall under this category and cause serious issues to people who have allergies. The last one is something that not many brands may look at it as to fall under a criteria for assessing it to be non-favorable, but because at Fawn Labs, we want to stand for sustainable practices. So we will pick out ingredients that are not biodegradable, that if you use it and you wash it down the drains, it's going to end up causing a lot of harm to the environment. Those are going to be marked as a pollutant. Okay, so we see, are you ready?
Now I'm scared.
You cannot back out, I'm sorry. Okay, let's bring up the list of the ingredients in her face wash now. So before I run through the list, I'm just gonna let you know how to read an ingredient list on the whole. If a product is manufactured in the US or in the UK, US or in Europe, you can expect them to at least list their ingredients, right, from the highest percentage used to the lowest percentage used. And bear in mind that anything that is used less than 1% need not appear on your list. However, for the ingredients that has been picked out by the US government, FDA, and also the European regulatory requirements, right, that's may essentially cause harm to the skin, right? Those has to be listed whether they are above 1% or less than 1% used in the formulation. Any potential allergens must also be listed here. Allergens usually come from in the form of essential oils found in their chemical components, but not to worry, as long as the brand has a formulator or chemist, right, looking into properly formulating all these ingredients in, right, there shouldn't be any cause for alarm because they will manage the percentages well, okay? Like I said, we're not going for a bashing or fear-mongering session here. We want to tell you and educate you so you're better able to make decisions, okay? So if you see, my friend, how much did you pay for this, face wash?
I think like $13 to $15. It wasn't very expensive.
Yeah, I actually checked. So for 150 grams, I think it's sold at $11+ online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for $11+, congratulations, you paid for almost 70 to 80% of aqua, which is water in your formulation. I was looking at your texture. I was looking for other kinds of liquids or water like hydrosol, and there isn't. So almost 70 to 80% of this formulation is just water.
Great.
Now you know why after I got myself certified, it's very hard for me to buy any more products out there. Okay, so but aqua is fine. Our skin does need water because it's made up of a high percentage of water. Okay, and this is a cleansing product after all. You don't need too much active ingredients in there. It's supposed to clean, not rejuvenate your skin, right? So the second ingredient, however, I'm sorry, red light.
Oh.
Yeah, so this a short form of this ingredient is called SLS. It's sodium lauryl sulfate. It can come in other forms of, you'll see them coming up as something sulfate, something lauryl sulfate, you know, LAURLY. Okay, so anything like that, you have to be a bit concerned, because this is actually a surfactant. So surfactants in cleansing products are supposed to clean your skin and provide some lather, some foam, right? So this in particular has been known to be highly this is an irritant. It irritates skin, irritates your eyes, and if used excessively, right, it may cause your skin to strip itself of natural oils, so you are exposed to more bacteria, etc. In some of the labs, they actually purposely use this ingredient to hurt someone's skin, and then use this form of skin, right, to test ingredients that are supposed to heal skin for efficacy. So imagine they're using this in a product.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but why? Do you also know? Do you want to know why they use this? A lot of brands use SLS despite all these concerns, because SLS is this is going to be a bit technical, but it's an aionic surfactant, meaning to say it creates a lot of foam. So the problem with the industry is also that a lot of people think that a cleansing product only works well when it has a lot of foam. It must lather up, have a lot of foam, then it cleans. It's
makes you feel that it's clean, right?
That's not true at all. Yes. So a lot of the surfactants, they are gentler, right? They're actually not able to foam as well. They are aionic, but they do a cleansing job as well, if not better than something that's foaming a lot, okay? Because they don't remove your natural oils. Like I give you an example, the next few ingredient, right, decyl glucoside and cocamidopropyl betaine, these two are also surfactants, and we actually use these in our own labs as well, especially cocamidopropyl betaine, right? They are very gentle surfactants, so they're fine. Okay, glycerin is something that's found in a lot of ingredient lists, and it's actually plant derived. It is a humectant of some sort, so it's fine as well. Next, PEG. I'm gonna talk about both PEGs together. Now this is bad because PEG, anything I don't like, because they are known to be carcinogens. Okay, what they're doing in most products is that they are an emulsifier. So in this entire formulation, right, there are oils and there are water ingredients. So things like PEG will bring both of these together, because you know they're immersible. So this is what will cause both of these to mix well. Okay, but I don't like them. Sodium chloride is actually just salt. Then we're looking at Panthenol. Panthenol is actually pro-vitamin B5, so it's fine. Tocopherol Acetate is just vitamin E. That's fine. Bisabolol is actually known to be a potential allergen. It's coming up here because I believe they have chamomile essential oil in this product, okay? And it's found in chamomile. So pentolactone is humectant, it's fine. There you go. Anthemis nobilis flower oil. This is actually the fancy name. We call it the inky for chamomile essential oil.
Oh, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, but it's wonderful. This is wonderful for skin. I personally like this essential oil for skin a lot, okay? The next is also another fancy name for geranium essential oil, another wonderful essential oil for skin benefits. That's fine. So glycodistiriate is an emulsifier. It's okay as well. Cocamide MEA, this is interesting, okay? Cocamide MEA is okay. But if you see cocamide DEA, which is an old form of MEA, then it's very bad for skin. It's very harmful. It is one of the highest carcinogenic ingredient out there. That's the reason why they are being phased out, but some very old formulations still contain them. Okay, so watch out for DEAs in your ingredient list. Laureth10 is okay. It's an emulsifier. Dipropylene glycol, okay, that's a fancy name, but it's actually a solvent. So they're trying to probably dissolve an ingredient in there. This is used when people make plastic. It's a plasticizer, so it's highly toxic. Yep, I don't like it at all. I don't know why they still use this, because a lot of brands have stopped using this, okay? Polyquaternarium 39 is actually an enhancer. It forms as film on your skin, so it's okay. Disodium EDTA is a preservative. This is very, very high carcinogen, so I also don't like it. Citric acid is a pH modifier. It's okay. Sodium hydroxymethylglycinate is a preservative, right? This one is okay. Although it's not natural, it's not plant derived, this one is okay. Of course, we come to my last two, methylparaben and propylparaben. It's, I don't have to go more into the word parabens, but we don't like them. I believe in this formulation, they're using a very, very, very low percentage of it. So I won't be so worried about it because it appears right at the back. Okay. Benzoic acid is also another preservative. Okay. So if we look at the entire list, I don't think it's it's not that bad.
Really?
Can we see all the highlights now? Yeah, so if you ask me if they replace sodium lauryl, so I don't know why they have to use so many forms of surfactants in there, because I think in our lab, we use two surfactants, cocamidopropylbutane and something else as a co-surfactant, right? And it works fine. We never had an issue with people saying that they don't clean well. So they can actually remove sodium lauryl sulfate. I think it's because they don't have the courage to remove the foaming item in there.
It's just the idea that it's clean.
That's right.
So they put it in to give the
Yes.
impression that it's clean.
Exactly. Okay. And if you look at it this way, the aqua is already 70 to 80% of the formulation, right? Usually for surfactants, they form 7 to 10%, 7 to 15% of the formulation, right? So if you look at the first 1, 2, 3, 4, and glycerin is always about 5 to 10%. The rest of the ingredient is actually very, very little percentage of this formulation. Okay, so I'm gonna thank you, Hui Si. I'm gonna let you go off first because we have, yes, we're gonna continue now with another face wash that we have picked, and then later on, stay with us because we're gonna reveal something to you at the end of this segment. Okay, thank you, Hui Si, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Hui Si. Thank you. So now we move on to the next product that we have actually picked. Thank you to all of you who have submitted your face wash to us via Facebook and Instagram. We are going to be looking at, can we have the slide, please? Okay, before we continue, is Pickle and Tiny around? Can you identify yourself by clicking on raise my hand or drop us a message in Q&A or chat and say, hi, I'm Pickle and Tiny. My face wash has been picked by Han, okay? Because we all these products that has been picked by us to go through the stripping bag, you will stand a chance to win a beautiful diffuser by from Flo. I have decided to purchase one myself as well. It's so pretty. I can't participate in this, can I, guys? No? Okay, thanks. I'm gonna move on now. Pickle and Tiny's face wash. It's SK2. This is, I picked this because it's a very, very this is a very, very, I get emotional when I see this brand because I spent a lot of money on this brand when I was in my 20s, okay? 20 to 30 years old, I drink SK2 as water, okay? So I saw this, Pickle and Tiny submitted it, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Let's see whether I regret. Let's look at her ingredient list now. Can we, same criteria, we're not gonna change them, okay? Wow, Han and Pickle and Tiny, congratulations. You paid a lot of money for water and glycerin. Okay, so SK2 has always been known to sell the products by saying that they have Pitera. What is Pitera, guys? Pitera is actually, I found out, sake. Okay, so if for all those alcoholics out there, if you have sake at home, mix it with water, buy some glycerin, you have SK2. No, I'm kidding about that, okay? But the next ingredient that you see there, the very fancy galactomyces ferment filtrate. Oh my God, what a long name for simple. Sake is sake. I drink it, I get drunk, I get happy. Why call it galactomyces ferment filtrate? Okay, no. Together with, right at the bottom, you see Saccharomyces cerevisiae extract. Okay, these two forms what we call sake, okay? But earlier I mentioned to Hui Si why fermented things are good for your skin, right? It's true because sake is fermented wine. It's wine that's fermented, and in it there's a lot of ingredients. There's a lot of properties in fermented food products, right, that's actually good for your skin. So that's why SK2 is very popular, because it actually works very well for your skin. Okay, the next ingredient is niacinamide. Niacinamide is also another fancy name for what we call vitamin B. So it's basically not anything fancy at all. Popular in a lot of skincare now. Then we look at, sorry, give me a moment. We look at butylene glycol. Butylene glycol is actually a humectant. It's not harmful to the skin. Sucrose surfactant. It doesn't really, this is not harmful at all. It is a very, very good surfactant. It's an emulsifier as well, so it mixes, it actually mixes in the oil and the water content. Isopropyl isostearate is a humectant. That's not harmful to skin as well, not harmful to your health. Isohexadecane is also a surfactant. So there you go. We have all the surfactants out and they're all okay, for SK2. Next, this is bad. Dimethicone. Dimethicone, we should have it highlighted. So dimethicone is of great concern to me. So this is an ingredient that is actually silicone. Okay, so I wouldn't really want anyone to put silicone in their skin because it's an allergen and it's also a toxin. We then move on to Cto Alcohol. That's an emulsifier and a surfactant, and it's fine. We use this in our lab as well. Next, we have polycromolate and Panthenol. So that is vitamin B5. So this is also okay as well. Sorry, I'm going to backtrack a little. Dimethicone and dimethiconol are actually the same chemical components. It's just a different form of it, but they're equally harmful to your skin, okay? Then we have tocopherol acetate, which is vitamin E. Cto Alcohol. This is an emollient, so it's supposed to fill the lines in your skin and make it look smooth. C1314 isoparaffin. I do not like this at all. This is what people use in pesticides. So it is very, very, very contaminating. It is highly toxic. I have no ideas why something as expensive as SK2 is using isoparaffin in their products. Can we show the next highlight that is C? Yes, thank you very much. And then we have benzyl alcohol. Benzyl alcohol is used as a preservative. It's an okay preservative. There you have it, methylparaben. I am absolutely shocked. Why is SK2 using parabens when the industry has already made so much advancement in this area? So I am very, very concerned here. PEG, again, we don't like anything PEG. We talked about it earlier. Other than methylparaben, they have also included two other parabens, propylparaben and ethylparaben. So all these are not going to pass the grade over here at Fawn Labs. Next, Disodium Edta. Oh my goodness, this is one of the ingredients that most brands do not use anymore. EDTA, right, it's a preservative. It is even higher in a carcinogenic level, right, than parabens potentially. So I have no ideas why their preservative system is so poor. The first few lines gave me a lot of hope, but as I move down, I am getting very worried. Laureth 7 is an emulsifier, it's fine, okay? And then the killer, yes, the killer is really fragrance. Can we highlight fragrance there? Because I'm not even as upset about parabens because I always believe, right, a properly preserved product is better than no preservatives, right? But to use fragrance in a product that costs you $100 for 120 grams, I don't accept it because you either go fragrance free or you use a natural fragrance like essential oil. Use artificial fragrance. It's very cheap to buy artificial fragrance, by the way, compared to the other ingredients I just brought up. And fragrance is known to be unnecessary in products like colorants. They are unnecessary. They don't do anything for your skin. So they should not be included in any products at all. I'd rather they go fragrance free. And it's been proven so many times over and over in so many researchers, right, that fragrance really does cause a lot of health concerns for a lot of people. And there has been indications that it causes nose cancer as well if you use too many products that contains artificial fragrance. So guys, this is very, very upsetting for me, okay? I'm like, oh gosh, sodium hydroxide, it's a pH modifier. I have to move on even though I'm upset, okay? The last two, the peptides, they are fine. They're natural ingredients. So they are like what you call amino chains. So they help to circulate your cell renewal cycle. So it's actually very good for skin, okay? So interesting, we have a product that is considered, it's about 90, if I'm not wrong, Pickle and Tiny can correct me, but I last checked, because I haven't bought for a long time from SK2. I understand that it costs about $100 for that face wash at 120 grams. And Simple is, earlier I checked with EC, it's about $11 to $13 for 150 grams, right? Let's put them side by side together now. And I'm gonna tell you which one I prefer. So I deliberated over this. And in the end, my choice, if I'm forced to choose between these two products, I actually am going to, sorry, Pickle and Tiny, sorry, 20-year-old me, I'm picking Simple, okay? The reason is very simple, price point. If you're going to cost 10 times more than Simple, you jolly well give me a formulation, right, that makes me go, wow, you know, like you don't use all these harmful products and they actually work for my skin. And then now I know that sake is actually one of the main active ingredients. I can just buy sake and splatter it all over my face, right? That's not going to happen because I usually finish all my alcohol. But yes, I'm going to choose Simple. Also, what upset me a lot is that they chose a lot of parabens. Like they're competing like, hey, I'm the one that uses the most parabens, guys. Okay, not acceptable for that price point. And the one that, you know, got me most upset with is the artificial fragrance. So if you see things like parfum fragrance, no, don't buy those products because you don't need these in the product. You don't even need them to make the product to start off with, okay? As for the preservatives and the emulsifiers, etc., I understand from a formulator point of view that you need those things to make the product, but not fragrance, okay? Now, I'm going to pick one last product that I saw being submitted to us. And shall we look at it? Is Si Lim 88 with us tonight? If you are, please identify yourself by raising your hand with the button or comment in the chat or Q&A that it's me, okay? Guys, look at this. This is a wonderful product. It's from a local brand. They're called Frank Skin or something like that. Yeah. So basically, Magic White Cleansing Oil from Frank Skin, right? They only have three products. So I always talk about double cleansing. That means you do an oil cleanse first before you move on to a water-based wash, right? If anyone is interested to learn how to do a double cleansing, let us know in comments. If you're on Facebook, just put there, yes, I want to learn about double cleansing, something like that, okay? Because it's something that I really, really think everyone should try. Most people in Singapore, because of the humid weather, you use only one wash, which is a water-based wash, right? But if you try to double cleanse, right, it is actually going to show you benefits for your skin. And I will not go too much into it now because we are not focused on double cleansing tonight. But look at this oil cleanser. It has 3 ingredients: apricot seed oil, castor oil, and tamanu oil. So apricot seed oil, right, is actually one of the mildest oils that you can find. If you put it on your skin, you rub it in, it takes less than 3 seconds and your skin feels smooth and it doesn't feel oily at all, okay? When we open the lab, feel free to drop us a message on Facebook, Instagram, email us, say, hey Han, you promised us that we can come in and try the apricot oil. Come and try it, drop us an email and come in and try apricot oil. I believe you don't realize it's an oil at all. The next, they use castor oil. Now, castor oil is amazing for cleansing. It's a dry oil, meaning to say, when you use it on your skin and you use it in this cleansing motion, right, it pulls out all the dirt from your pores. And if you have dry skin, you shouldn't be using castor oil neat because it dries out your skin. Imagine that. So there are oils that's called dry oils, and castor oil is one of them. Tamanu oil is another amazing oil. I used to post childbirth. I had a lot of issues with cystic acne, and I would use tamanu oil neat on my face and rub it over the spot, right? It clears up so fast. Why? Because tamanu oil has a lot of antibacterial qualities in there. So a combination, I know probably you now think that then why do I pay money to have 3 oils mixed together, right? It's also the percentage of each oil being used. And as a formulator, right, I look at this and I know that the formulator over at Frank Skin, good job guys, Frank Skin, okay? You use apricot oil in the highest percentage. I understand why. Then castor oil followed by tamanu, because tamanu should not be used more than 10% in any formulations. I love this. I'm probably going to buy 1 bottle and try it out myself. And thank you, Si Lim, for submitting this. So if both Si Lim and Tiny and Pickle and Tiny, if you're around tonight, you will be joining the draw for that beautiful diffuser. And thank you so much for helping us submit all your entries. So I had a lot of fun tonight playing Raid My Pantry with Hui Si and Stripping Bear. Okay, we're gonna round up this ingredient list by going into our next segment called Dirty Cop. Who wants to play Dirty Cop with me? Dirty Cop is none other than us at Fawn Labs being cops, okay, being policing ingredients and telling you in all these categories, typically found in a face wash, what are the good ingredients and bad ingredients. Basically, I talked about SLS earlier. So if you see anything lauryl or sulfate, take note, okay? Don't try not to buy anything with SLS in there. Anything DEA is a carcinogen. Don't use too much of these, okay? A good surfactant is anything that ends with glucoside, okay? It comes in a lot of forms, but if you see glucoside, something glucoside, it's usually the surfactant in a cleansing product, and they are very, very natural. They are plant-based as well and very gentle on the skin. They may not foam as much, but they do the job. Emulsifiers, there's hundreds of them in the market, right? But the 2 that are not really good for your skin and for PEG, not really good for the environment. PEG, by the way, is non-biodegradable. So from now on, for those of us who are on a sustainable journey, right, try not to use any ingredients that has PEGs in them. They're extremely common. I would say maybe 60 to 70% of emulsifiers used by formulators are PEGs. But you can find other forms of emulsifiers. These are non-biodegradable, but they're not as harmful to the skin and health as dimethicone. Dimethicone, anything is highly cancerous causing, okay? So look at where they place it. So if it's high up in the list, that means they use a lot of it. If it's right at the back of the list, that means they use a little of it, okay? Emollients, anything paraffins. So that's not good for your health and your skin. Aromaceutical, I think I stressed enough earlier. Parfum and fragrance, no, okay? I don't care if they say French fragrance, French parfums, I just know, okay? Essential oils are lovely. Some of us may be a little bit more sensitive. So just remember to test patch your skin when you're using things with essential oils. If you buy them from labels and brands that are properly formulated, they shouldn't cause you any problems. Essential oils itself is another long topic. We teach that in our clean beauty class because we teach people to observe dermal limits, okay? For those of you who are here with us tonight and have not attended any clean beauty class of ours, let us know by commenting in the chat or Q&A or on our Facebook stream now, and tell us, I want to know what dermal limits are, something like that, okay? So we are trying to gather interest to see what topics you'd like us to talk about, and we will include those as much as possible in the next 2 weeks. Preservative, we don't like parabens, of course, anything EDTA. We don't like formaldehyde. Don't be shocked, okay? That is used to embalm dead bodies, right? They are found in very, very, very old formulations. Most of them have been phased out, but some brands are stubbornly still using this ingredient. They're not exactly an ingredient. What happened is it is basically when 2 chemicals are mixed together, right? It creates a reaction, and formaldehyde is some of the components that may end up found in your product in very high percentage, and that's why they have to be listed as especially if their products in US, most nitric acid, sorbic acid, radish root ferment, see another fermented item, potassium sorbate. Okay, so there are alternatives, and they're just probably a bit more expensive and less researched upon. So there are some big brands that are forced to go into research with these gentler ingredients and spend money on them, so to ensure the safety of their customers. And I think this is going to be something that going forward will be even more important. Okay, so thank you for joining me at Dirty Corp. I will now open up, hand it back to April. We are good for time. April, so we're gonna take some questions now from everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, Han. I'm completely mind blown. Oh my
Cheers!
gosh. I learned a lot. So, being a person, I personally have very sensitive skin. So later we need to do a one-on-one because there's a lot of things I can learn from you. Yeah,
Free
and
consult for April.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we're gonna take some questions. So I think there's one comment here. So let me check the Facebook as well. So in the Facebook, we have Elizabeth Chia saying that she's interested in double cleansing. So we have quite a number of people interested in double cleansing, also the ones watching us over Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one comment here. Let's see. Okay, Marilyn, someone told me that SK2 put something in their products that will thin the skin. Is that true based on the ingredient list?
I don't see anything in there that particularly strips skin or thin skin, but I think, okay, I think what they mean is because a fermented product, right, has a tendency to, renew your cells. So people imagine that it renews so much of your cells, it removes a layer of skin, but then it truly doesn't do that. It probably, it's just fear mongering. I personally feel that. But if there's any ingredient that potentially get people talking about this effect, right, will be the fermented item in there, which is sake. It's supposed to renew your skin cells, not supposed to strip away a whole layer of your skin. So don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay. Now we have another or some. Okay, guys, I'm going to request for you to turn on your videos now so we can see each other, and then you can also ask your questions personally. But if you're not comfortable turning on your videos, that's also fine. Okay, and then again, we are live, and this is being recorded. So let me just check the questions again. Give me a moment. So we have one question. How long can the avocado pit grounds last?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, normally for homemade skincare, I forgot to add that on to We See. We See, if you're still around, can you don't use it tomorrow? Yes, because remember we talk about the importance of preservatives for skincare products, right? Especially for products with water content in there. So something like avocado seed has natural water content in there, right? You shouldn't be keeping it more than 24 hours. Try to use, make enough to use for one use, and the rest of it, use it on your body, finish it up, okay? So prefer you guys to finish up within 24 hours, unless you have incorporated some sort of a preservative, which I think if you're not in a lab, you wouldn't have access to those kind of preservatives.
Okay, wow, thank you so much for that. And let me see. Another question. Do you have a favorite face wash you recommend?
I really must. My favorite face wash, okay, is this cleansing oil that I brought along some of it with me. So this is a cleansing oil that we make in our lab. That little thing floating in it, right? Those are actually Moroccan rosebuds. Yeah, so this cleansing oil is, yep. So I have very, very dehydrated skin, but yet I do break out with acne sometimes. So the only thing that helps when I have both dehydrated skin and breakouts is actually an oil product, believe it or not, which is why I say oil cleansing is very important. So without this, when I use water wash, water-based cleansers, what it does is we tend to overcompensate. We feel that we have acne or our skin is oily in some parts or breaking out. We try and wash our skin more often, right? By doing that, what you're doing is you're removing the natural oils on the skin. So your skin cells, the lower tier of it, right, the lower portion of it starts to overcompensate by making more sebum to push it out of your pores. And that's when it gets clogged and you get clogged with oil. It's using an oil product, believe it or not.
So Carolyn has a comment. My hubby sometimes uses oil and lemon juice as exfoliant. He says it brightens his skin. Is that so?
Lemon juice is known to brighten skin. That is correct. Oil also, I think oil is probably because it leaves it's like a occlusive, right? So it fills up the pores and light. So you have that lovely sheen on the face. Okay, so be very careful what oil you're using. Choose select oils that's suitable for your skin, because we have like 300 over ingredients in our lab, out of which most of them are actually carrier oils and plant oils, right? So there's really an oil for everyone out there. As long as it chooses the correct oil, it shouldn't be a problem. But yes, lemon juice is good to clarify problematic skin.
That's amazing. So follow up from Carolyn, she says that he uses virgin olive oil from our kitchen.
Olive oil, the problem with olive oil is there's a lot of fake olive oil out there. It has actually been a great concern even among the culinary industry of late recent years. So I wouldn't use olive oil. I'd rather he purchases things like jojoba oil or sweet almond oil. They're simple, easy to find, and they're mostly suitable for most skin.
I see. So it's better. And there's no such thing as like fake jojoba oil, right? As compared to like...
You see, the thing is, jojoba oil is not expensive to produce. So I think the tendency for it to fake one, right, would be lower. But you never know, because we found out that there's fake rice, there's fake, amazing what people can fake these days. So I better not say impossible, yeah.
Yeah.
Fake alcohol, I am litmus test. Just bring it to me, okay? But
okay.
Yeah.
Now, we have another question. So, with so many ingredients to look out for in commercial face wash, are we better off trying to make our own at home?
You see, that's the problem, right? We go back again to safety concerns. If you are making your own, make sure you make enough for one day use. Why? It's, okay, see, again, preservative is another long topic. So we cover all these topics in our in our Clean Beauty class. So in Clean Beauty class, we actually teach our participants, right, about safety and formulation and stuff like that, right? We stress a lot on preservative, and especially after COVID-19, I think the focus will definitely be on a well-preserved product. If you make something from home, use it up within one day, and then don't make more than 1 day of use. Imagine if you are not well and you're not aware, and you make large batch and you share it with your family members and things like that. So a lot of these viruses and germs, right? Germs breed in water. Viruses don't breed in water, but they are carried by water, as we already know very well by now. So without preservative, there's a lot of harm that may occur, right? If you make stuff, and especially if you share these things with other people. So again, even we don't talk about something as severe as a virus, even germs and bacteria breed overnight. You don't see these things with a naked eye, your naked eye, okay? I had before people coming to me and say that, I use ABC stuff all along and I make like 1 month worth of face wash or hand wash. I don't see any bacteria in there. I'm like, oh my God, I should hire you for the lab. I don't need to pay for all these expensive equipment. You can see with your bare eyes, you know, your naked eyes, bacteria and mold, wow. So things like that, when they grow in the water content of a product, you can't see with your eyes. So it's better to be safe, not to make more than 24 hours, more than what you would need in 24 hours, and toss the rest, okay?
That's very enlightening. And now we have a question from Nur Hidayah. I'm going to unmute you, Nur Hidayah, so you can ask your question to Han directly.
Hi, Nahidaya. Thanks for joining us.
Let me check.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Han. I just
Hi.
wanted to comment on something. As you know that parabens have already been established by like the clean beauty industry that it's a bad ingredient.
Mhm.
So how what to like how about people who comment that parabens are actually considered bad ingredients because it's a marketing ploy?
Okay, so basically for parabens, right? I mean, enough has been tested on it. Enough has been, there's a lot of research done, right? That indeed overusing parabens is harmful for health, right? But remember, I said also that we're not here to fear monger. Earlier, if you have been with us the entire evening, right? I actually mentioned that if you use products with parabens in them, like if it's a wash-off product, right? It's actually better than if you use products with parabens in them that's a leave-on product. So if you have, I'm not saying that parabens should not appear in any products, but you have to take everything, relatively by looking at your entire lifestyle, your entire range of products that you're using. So for example, if it's Hui See's face wash and it costs like 11, 12 bucks and it's a wash off, and if she say I use it once a day or three times a week, right? I would say continue using it, doesn't matter, right? But if she shows me her entire range and there's a mask that she uses every day, and you know for masks, they are formulated to absorb right into your skin, right? And it has a very, very high percentage of parabens in there, then I would advise her to maybe not use that mask as often, or replace it slowly with another mask that doesn't have as high a level of parabens or no parabens in there. So you must really examine your entire lifestyle, your entire range of products, look at them. And remember, I also taught you to look at where the parabens are. If they are in the middle, like SK2 has paraben in the middle. So it means to say it is not like right at the bottom, whereby it's the least amount of all the ingredients in your product. So learn to read things like self. But we are not saying that parabens is an absolute no. You understand what I mean, right?
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for asking the question. Now, let me check. I think we have time for one last question. Okay, let me check here. Let me check on Facebook if we have any questions at all. Okay, no questions on Facebook. Okay, one last question. Okay, can you give me more examples to use food waste to make a DIY mask?
Oh, DIY mask.
Yeah.
That's next week's topic, so I won't reveal it. Okay, but following today's recommendation, right? I forgot to add earlier that if you don't want to use your face wash with the avocado pits, you want something else. Also, from a food waste perspective, right? I am guilty of having too much yogurt in my fridge for too long, and then procrastinating and not eating out fast enough, because larger tubs are more value, right? And we buy larger tubs, and then they start to have a bit of watery thing, and then you start thinking like, oh, maybe I don't want to eat that, but I feel bad if I throw it. Then you force yourself to eat it and you feel bad, right? So when you're yogurt like that, you can, and with avocado pits, right, you can mix it with the yogurt, and then you can use it as a mask. Keep it on for maybe like 15 minutes or so, because remember, yogurt is also a fermented food product. So it has the same qualities as, sorry, Pickle and Tiny, SK2. So leave it on your skin, right? The lactic acid and all, right, will really nourish your skin well. It will moisturize it well. And then rub it off in that scrubbing action and remove it and wash it off. Okay, so that's another tip for you there. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And
That's
somebody asked
amazing.
me, I think once somebody in my team asked me when I said I'm going to suggest this, right? They asked me, what if the yogurt is expired? The more expired it is means the more fermented it is. So it's actually good for your skin, but it's not good for your tummy. But truly, it's not that bad I do eat expired yogurt, and I'm standing here talking to you. I don't look weird. I'm not like gesticulating in a weird way. Okay, so yes, you can use expired yogurt on your face.
Wow, that's an amazing tip. I'm gonna do that. And then tag
Try-
you in Instagram.
Try it on your boyfriend's husbands first.
Oh,
If
you're
they
the
look
guinea
fine,
pig.
yes, if they look fine, then use it on your arm first before using the face. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Han. That's good. That's very informational. I really learned
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thank
And I
you.
would like to also just share to our audience, whoever is watching now, if they want to reach out to you, they can go to your Facebook link. So we have there your Facebook, Instagram, website, and your email. Let me also post it in your or let's also post it in your Facebook, okay? So people can reach out to you. So with that, okay, that concludes our session. And I would like to ask everyone to share in the chat if you can bring one cleansing product with you. If the circuit breaker gets extended, which one will it be? So pick one cleansing product that you will not be able to live without, and then put it in the chat right now. Let's check the responses. Let's see. Okay. Cleansing product. Nurhidaya says Kiehl's facial cleanser.
Kiehl's. Okay.
Kiehl's facial cleanser.
Kiehl's, right, is very interesting, if I may. So I had a friend who came to me and said, "Hey, tell me, is Kiehl's a chemical-free product?" Because I said, "Why do you think that it's a chemical-free product?" Oh, because it looked like a brand that doesn't use chemicals in their stuff. So then we went to this, there's this thing online. I have to find it. Next week, I'll give it to April to release to all you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually key in the brand name and the product, and it shows you on the meter how bad the contamination level is. And Kiehl's came out 4 out of 5, 5 being the worst, highest toxin level. So we were shocked by that, because I thought Quite Think is quite clean, but not that product that we tried.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Why didn't you post it for us to analyze for our next 2 weeks? And I see if I can pick that to analyze.
Yeah. So
It'll be fun,
Nurhidaya, Nurhidaya, you can actually post the photo in the stories and then tag Fawn Labs so that they can analyze for you. And I'm sure that your team can tag Nurhidaya so that you can see it real time. So Jacqueline says that she will bring fresh soy facial wash. Mirabelle is Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. And yeah, that's about it. Let me check if we have any on Facebook. Okay. No comments on Facebook. So yes, that's about it. Thank you so much, Han. I'm sure everyone here is very intrigued, and they want to go to your lab soon so that they can test your products, because there's a lot of things that we don't know. I mean, we just get to buy all these things in a supermarket or in the malls without knowing what's in them. We just buy them because they're popular.
Exactly.
So yeah, there will be so to everyone who's watching, there will be a post survey immediately after this session, the moment we end the Zoom webinar. So we will really appreciate if you can help us fill out the 2-minute survey. And thank you so much again, everyone, to everyone who registered and watch over the Zoom link and Facebook page. We truly appreciate your support, and have a good evening.
Thank you, April.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Thanks for joining us.
Good night. Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Aslinda.